Hi folks, and welcome to iPetrolhead videos. I'm Andy Clegg, the creator of the iPetrolhead app. Make sure you go download the app please, because downloads do help us. So I thought I'd just have a quick app chat with you, let you know what's going on with the app, why it was created and what kind of functions it has on it. So basically, I used to have 3 cars, my daily driver, the family car and a Lotus Elise. And when you've got 3 cars, it gets quite hard to keep track of MOTs and road tax, etc, etc. I used to have a little spreadsheet with highlighter marks all over it, which wasn't ideal. Also, we had a 2-year-old people carrier, and when it turned 3 years old and it was due its first MOT, we got no notification about getting that done. We'd driven all the way to Devon and back to Aberdeen and stuff like that, and essentially we're driving illegally. So I had a look in the App Store to see what kind of apps there were out there, and there were a few out there, but nothing that really kind of hit the spot for what I was looking for. So I decided I would sell my Lotus and invest the money and create my own app, which has become iPetrolhead as it is. And we also have an American version, or North American version, called iGearhead. It's pretty much the same app, but has slightly different main reminder titles. So what is the app? Basically it's a car diary app with a group map function on it. Essentially what you do is you get your dates out of your diary and create a car in a garage, add in your dates. What the app does, it updates the diary, the calendar on your phone. You need to update the apps, the dates in the app, and it will update the calendar. Now, of course you can just use your calendar to do this, but what the app does, it kind of gathers all that car information, the dates together. Once you've got your dates in for MOT, tax service, whatever, you can obviously update them as the dates change and such like. But what it does is it will remind you at 30 days, it will ping up a reminder on your phone. At 14 days before the date, the entry will go red inside the app, so you can get a visual on that if you're looking at your app regularly. And at 7 days, it will ping up another reminder. So it's kind of last chance to go and get your road tax done or your MOT or whatever. We also have bookings inside each car. So if you book your car in for an MOT, for example, and you've got a date set, what that alert does is you can set a time on it and it will ping you an hour before that. Just, how many times have you booked something at the garage and you kind of forget last minute? That'll ping you an hour beforehand. We've had an update in iOS recently. What tends to happen is Apple or the mods at Android, they obviously update the iOS, the operating systems, and that sometimes affects how our app works. So we can have to play catch up with those guys, which is a bit of a pain, but I guess these guys have got to develop their own software. So at the minute, iOS 9, it caused some issues with the app. Basically the dates in your app weren't updating to the calendar. We had some issues with the map function as well. I'll talk about that in a wee minute. So basically, if you've got the iOS version, you can go and update that now. What I would do is, once you update the app, update the vehicles that you've entered, go and look in your calendar and make sure that the dates are actually in the calendar. Now I had a couple of dates on my 2 cars. Two of the dates weren't updating to the calendar, so what I did was I just changed the date by a day, hit update, checked the calendar, the entry was there, then I changed the date back to the normal date, updated again, and it was fine. So all my dates are back in my calendar, and I should be getting those reminders at 30 days and 7 days. So that's pretty much the reminder part of it. If you look on the alerts tab in your app as well, you'll notice that it's quite a hard word to say, chronologically ordered. So basically the order that the next reminder is going to come at you, it's listed from the top to the bottom with the most recent at the top. So again, you get a bit of a visual, it'll tell you how many days you've got before the next thing coming. It's a good way of planning your finances, I guess, as well. I know one year I had a lot of stuff happened all in May, and had I seen it coming, I could have prepared better for that financially. As it was, I got stung in the month of May a few years ago. So quite often when I had my Lotus, I used to go out in group runs, and you would regularly lose each other, and you'd end up having to phone your pal and say, where are you? Let's meet at junction, whatever. So I decided we'd do a group map function, and what that does is it allows you to create a discrete group using a unique code where 4 people, 4 of your friends in your contacts list, can all look at the same map. It'll put a pin on the map, and so you can find each other's location. Now I'm using mine right now. I'm driving from Glasgow back up to Inverurie where home is, and I put it on. I invite my wife to look at the map as well. It's maybe not a good thing sometimes, and she can track my progress all the way home, and she'll know when I'm getting close to home. So yeah, the group map function works well. We'll hopefully develop that a bit further as time goes on. The inside the app as well, obviously I self-fund it, and it's quite expensive for developers. I've been using a guy locally. I've also used a company in India to do the development. Obviously I've got to kind of define what the interface is going to be, etc. And these guys go away and develop the apps, but it's quite expensive. So what I've tried to do, and I'm still trying to do, is create a shop, which you can see inside the app in the gear tab, or you can go to iPetrolheadgear.com. There's a shop in there with branded gear. I think it's quite cool stuff. People seem to like it at car shows. They buy it, and all the money that comes from that is going to go back in the development pot, which allows me to then, you know, do a bit of less self-funding. So there we go. What I've also introduced in an iOS version that's just come out now is ads. The way of generating income again for development funds is to have ads embedded in your apps. I don't particularly like them, but it's a bit of a necessary evil. So I've put some ads in there. They're a little bit discreet as I can put them in there. The more you use the app, the more you click on those links, the more Google or whoever is going to end up paying us some revenue for that, and we'll put that back into development of the app as well. What else is there to say? Android version. So Android was the second version that we created. Obviously there's a bunch of Android users out there now, the non-believers. And Android's a bit of a tricky little bugger to work around though. They change it quite often, and also they have different names for Jelly Bean, etc, etc. So the latest version of the Android iOS type operating system is causing us some issues with the app as well. So we have a developer guy looking at that now. I know Adam Russell. Hi Adam. He let us know that there was an issue with that, and his app basically it tries to start up and it just bombs out. So that's an issue that we need to address at the moment. So we're going to get that done. Hopefully we get an Android version, an update to the Android version soon. So that's essentially the app so far. We will look to add other functions. We've already got a function in mind that we want to add later this year. Again, it's just dependent on development cash that we have available. If we get some decent money, we're going to add something in there. Hopefully you'll quite like it. A little bit of fun. And of course I would like to do some extra work on the maps and route planning and that kind of stuff. I don't want to give too much away, obviously, at this time, in case it doesn't happen. I don't want to have anyone getting disappointed. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The Facebook page, I mean, guys, keep liking and sharing the Facebook page. Tell your friends about it. Get your friends to download the app. You know, the more downloads we get, seriously, it's going to make life so much easier to generate that income that we need to get the app developed. We've got a YouTube channel too, which I'm going to start using for videos like this. It's always handy to have videos to watch instead of having to read posts all the time on Facebook. It's murder trying to write them all the time, and every time you go to the toilet you've got to write a post, you know. I'm only joking. So I figured we get the GoPro on, we start doing some videos, and hopefully we'll keep you guys informed of what's going on with the app. If anyone's going to be at the D-Side Speed Festival, I'll be there, so come along and buy some gear off me, have a little bit of chat. It's always good to hear what users are finding with their experience of the app. Also, you can tell us what functions that you would like to see in the app. I always listen to feedback, good or bad. You can PM us on the Facebook page. So yeah, so really, it's your app. If you want it to be developed further with functions that you want to be seeing, download it, share it, keep hitting the ads. Let's try and generate some income from it. And yeah, we'll try and get the app developed as much as we can. We'll keep the iGearhead one kind of plugging along too, but America's a bit of a bigger fish to fry, so we'll focus on the UK at the moment and what you guys want to see. So that's it. I'm Andy Clegg, the creator of iPetrolhead app. Make sure you download it, buy some gear, and yeah, fingers crossed we can get this app exactly how you guys want it to be. Okay, see you for now. Bye bye.